Hey guys, welcome back to the Digital Marketing Weekly, episode 2, and you're with Casey. Hey guys, welcome back to the Digital Marketing Weekly, episode 2, and you're with Casey. First of all, thanks a lot for appreciating my content and making the episode number 1 a big success, and you have given me a lot of confidence to continue doing this. Now, what brings me to you this week is I've been obsessed with all the updates that has been happening, and I just thought that I should share it with all of you guys every week. So what are we waiting for? Let's dive in. So what's new this week, and what are we going to talk about this week apart from my shaved head, which is of course new, is there are a lot of updates. YouTube has made non-skippable ads available to all the creators on YouTube, which was earlier available only to a selected few. Now non-skippable ads are available to all the creators. Now, to make it less annoying to the audiences, first thing that YouTube has done is they have reduced the time from 30 seconds, the length of the video, non-skippable video ads, from 30 seconds to 20 seconds is the first thing. And you certainly have an option as a creator to opt in or out of the non-skippable ad format, because you should be given the format, and you also are given a lot of tools to measure the insights or the engagement that users have on your videos with these non-skippable ads, because you just need to know if these ads are really helping you make more money, or are they really damaging your whatever is already there. So to understand that, they've given you this flexibility to opt in and out of the non-skippable ads. So basically, non-skippable ads become available to all the creators starting this year. The second thing that we would be talking about as far as YouTube is concerned is, as a part of the Google Digital Wellbeing Initiative, you can set up breaks, and you can notify YouTube to send you notifications or subscription alerts or anything that YouTube want to tell you during set times of the day. And as of now, you get these updates as and when they happen, but you can choose a set time during a day, and you would only be receiving these alerts during those days, during that time. And apart from that, if you observe, Instagram and Facebook have launched these things where you can measure the time that you've spent on these platforms, and YouTube has also jumped onto the bandwagon, and now you have the ability to see how much time you have spent on YouTube. Are you overdoing YouTube, or are you getting too distracted? And you can set alerts, or you can let YouTube to tell you or send you all the notifications only during a set time of the day. Another initiative that YouTube has come up with, and it is as of now only available as a beta version in US and Canada, is YouTube Giving, which is a new initiative, which is a crowdfunding initiative where you could donate for a cause using YouTube. Now, let's say I'm an NGO and I'm a creator of a certain set of videos about my NGO, and you would all see an option to donate, where you could start donating anything that you would want to in terms of any amount of money that you could go ahead and donate. Now, if you look at platforms like Kickstarter, Patreon, Twitch, where you can tip the creators, now they have already been doing this for some time. Now YouTube has jumped onto this and started doing these initiatives where you can actually donate something for a cause, and it is, as I said, it is in beta version now. And you could start seeing those things probably expanding to another set of countries soon. But as of now, they're only available in US and Canada as a part of the beta version. The next set of updates that we would be talking about now are from Twitter. Now, how would you feel if Twitter tells you or asks you to unfollow a few people, right? When I first heard of this, it sounded very funny, and I thought it was a joke, but I get to know that it's real. I mean, it's happening for real, where Twitter is giving you suggestions as to who should you unfollow from your Twitter profile. Now, it sounded like an angry wife who is asking you to quit drinking or smoking, for that matter, and I couldn't quite get the logic initially, but maybe because everybody around, like Instagram and Facebook, are making it very, very safe and secure for users by getting rid of bots, getting rid of people who have multiple accounts and people who don't have a real face or real authenticity behind these accounts. I mean, they have not done it yet, but they're in the process of getting these things done. So maybe because of that, Twitter has also started doing the same thing where it is suggesting you to unfollow certain people. While the exact reason seems very unclear at the moment. Now, I'm assuming maybe it's because you don't have much of a value add from these audiences or follows on your Twitter. Maybe they're not participating enough. Maybe they don't interact much. Maybe it's just for increasing the followers list, or maybe it was a mutual follow where I follow you and you follow me. Now, Twitter wants to get rid of all those things, and they're giving you suggestions as to who should you unfollow. Nevertheless, it sounded very funny when I got to know about it for the first time. The second thing that we're talking about is Twitter Lite, which is being launched to an additional 21 countries. Now, it was available to another 45 countries earlier. Now it's available to an additional 21 countries, including India. This is very similar to what Facebook Lite was, which was a lighter version of the app, which could help you use and access and easily start using this app while you use less mobile data, where you don't need too much of internet connectivity or internet speed. Twitter has also started giving you the option to bookmark certain tweets, where you could look at them at a later point in time when you are a little jobless, I could say. Of late, LinkedIn has really started kicking some ass. Ask me why? That LinkedIn has introduced automatic bidding for their sponsored content ad formats. Agreed, they're a little late, but better late than never. They've at least started doing it. And if you look at what's happening around with LinkedIn, they really have pulled up their socks, and they're really trying to hit the finish line and catch up with the rest of them as soon as possible. Now, agreed that they have made these changes at a later point in time compared to all the other people who have introduced such ad formats like Facebook and Google. They've introduced these automatic bidding option earlier, but now LinkedIn has started doing it, and they're on the way, they're getting there. Now, apart from what they have done to the ad interface or in terms of the LinkedIn advertising, what they have done now is they have tried and reformed the way their job listings look. They have introduced new possibilities of showcasing jobs and job listings. They already have about 10 million job listings worldwide, which is an insane number. And not just that, it just doesn't stop there. What they have done is they have done certain changes to the interface where most of the key elements when it comes to job listings have been highlighted better, like the nature of the company, what they're into, what is the job role. Earlier it was not that organized, let's be honest. Another thing which is really interesting is they have introduced a new list of job listings, as a new set of job listings, as I've said. And apart from that, they have also introduced an option with increasing nomadic culture, where everybody wants to be a nomad, work remotely. Nobody believes in 9 to 5 anymore. It's a changed world. And it's really good that LinkedIn is stepping up to the game. And I believe, apart from all the freelance websites, LinkedIn is the only one which is coming up with this option where you have a remote job possibility, where you can filter your job search or job listing. You can filter the job listings based upon the nature of the job as a remote job. Finally, there are alerts in LinkedIn. Now, you could set up alerts for the kind of job listings that you're looking at or the kind of job roles that you're interested in. I still remember a couple of years ago when I had written a blog post about how you could set Google alerts when somebody is looking for a set of people. Now, it may not be that accurate in terms of Google's context, but I was doing it. I was searching for it, right? So I believe people across the globe would be looking for something like having an alert set up, so that I love Microsoft, for example, or since I'm an ex-Googler, so let's say I love Google. Now, since I love Google, I really want to get alerts to reach me whenever there is an opening, or there is a job opening, or there is a job listing that LinkedIn has included for Google. I would really want to receive those alerts. Now you can do them. You know, there would be a lot of updates when we talk about Instagram, considering all the things that I've been doing in the last 1 week. Now, I thought maybe there were a lot of changes that Instagram has made, and that is the reason I had so many updates in my last episode. But I realized that Instagram is really doing a lot of things, and that's one of the reasons that you have a lot of updates coming from Instagram. Now, first things first, the most important update that Instagram has this week is they have made certain major changes to their API. Now, I am not going to be technical. This is not going to confuse you. This is just going to be as simple as this. So I've condensed the whole thing and I've put it in simple terms. There are certain changes in the API of Instagram. The old API is going to be sunset, and the new API is going to bring some exciting features. Your likes are going to be private. Now, whatever you like when you're browsing your Instagram and you're scrolling and you keep liking things, right? Now, there are some companies who will use this history to make sure that they classify you into certain buckets and say that if you're a frequent follower of, let's say, Netflix, and you like House of Cards on Instagram, now Netflix knows that what kind of series, web series would you like. So now that's not going to be the case anymore. Now all the likes will be private. The second major change that's going to be affected with Instagram new API is Instagram bots out of the door. They're gone. They're dead. Now there are not going to be any bots anymore. Now your likes are private, as I said, and influencers will see major changes, and I don't think they will appreciate this change, because they agreed these people have spent a lot of time and effort in building those kind of influence or audience around their profile, but there were certain tricks along the way. There are certain smart hacks that they have implemented to get things done, and I believe that there may be some kind of automation. I can't speak for all the influencers, but some of them certainly have done that. Now that's going to change, which means influencers are going to lose the ground for a couple of days. But to compensate them with that, there are a lot of other things which have been introduced by Instagram. Now, for example, is IGTV. Now, IGTV is definitely going to help influencers. There are things like in your Instagram stories, you could mention use at somebody's handle so that you could reach those people. So you can mention those things. And you can use video chat in your DMs. When you DM people, you could do a video chat with those people. And apart from that, there are shoppable tags. Now there are certain shoppable posts on Instagram that you could do. Now and they're available also in India at the moment, by the way. So you can upload these posts and you can make them shoppable by having tags like the price and the color or specifications of the product. Now those can be done. Now, when was the last time you actually made a story on Instagram? Had you done it in the recent past, you would know that when you make a post on a story on Instagram, there is an option where you could link it to your IGTV, which is an excellent way. Now, how about this? When we spoke about not having the swipe up option since we are on Instagram because we were not a big account, now it is only available to people who have about 10,000 followers, we started ranting saying that this is not good and Instagram is kind of partial to the large accounts. Now you have the functionality. Maybe you cannot link it directly to your website, but you could route people to your IGTV, and that's where you could be all that creative that you want to do, that you always wanted to be. Now you could get your account verified with Instagram and get a blue verified account with a blue tick, and that enhances your account reliability, and it gives people additional confidence that this account is verified and they can rely upon, they can follow your account without any questions. While this verification is open for everybody can start applying for a verification. 99% of the accounts or 90% of the accounts are getting rejected because at the moment it's only applicable for large accounts, which means you have to be somebody who the world knows. You have to be somebody who is noteworthy, or a big company, or a large enterprise, or a big influencer. Now it's only for those kind of accounts. Nevertheless, you can start applying, but it depends if Instagram will go ahead and verify and give you a badge, but you can apply. The second big change is, or I've been saying too many second big updates, but the next update when it comes to Instagram is they've introduced a feature called About This Account. Typically for, let's say, celebrities, if you're a celebrity and if you have an Instagram account, and there's a high chance of people trying to use your name and try and create many accounts. So how do you separate the authentic account from the fake ones? Now to do that, Instagram has launched something called as About the Account or About This Account, which means that you would have to your account or your profile would have things like when was the account started, when did you join Instagram, other things like have you connected it to your Facebook, and a lot of they will ask you a lot of questions, and when you answer all these questions they would be mentioned in the About This Account section. and that means that this is going to be an authentic account, and that's when they're going to verify this. Now, I'm not a celebrity, and how do I get trust? So does it mean that all people who are not celebrities or noteworthy are not fit to use Instagram, or would they always be treated as somebody who is unreliable? That's definitely not the case. Now, someday we will all get there. Someday we will always have 10,000 followers, or someday we will get there. It's not something which is a Herculean task. We will get there. But until then, there are small things that people like you and I could do to actually make it more reliable. Include your website in the bio, link it to your Facebook account, make it a business account, keep posting genuine content, have a face of the account, have a persona, have a personality to your account. And if you keep doing these things, it is definitely not possible for all the 1 billion Instagram users to be verified, right? It beats the whole purpose. Now, when people look at your profile, they have certain checks that they do. I mean, think about it in psychology. Now, if I come to your Instagram profile and you post once in a month, and that content that you post is also shared from somewhere, it's been copied, lifted from somewhere, now that's not going to give me a good impression about your profile. How do you get a good impression about your profile? How do you build that impression? So you post genuine content, you post your own content, you post consistently, you post regularly, you have certain intervals that you post, have Instagram stories regularly, link it to your website, link it to your, put things in your bio, have a description about your business or your product, occasionally show your face, that wouldn't hurt too much. And these are certain things that you could do to actually make your account believable, and that's what people look for. I have a feeling you'll like the next one. In a world where we were all obsessed about reading books, all of us were obsessed about reading books at some point in time. It was at least for me, it was a fashion statement. It sounded cool when I told people that I read books, right? Now, the first time I heard, or a couple of years ago, when somebody told me that there's this device called Kindle and you can read books, and I was like, how is it even going to work? Now, devices are for getting some things done, like a computer or a laptop. Now, how could you read a book on a Kindle and it just doesn't sound the same or feel the same? Now, at this point in time, I probably have purchased more ebooks than the physical books in my entire life. Now, how about this? Have you ever imagined that you could read your favorite novel on Instagram stories? As insane as it sounds and as unbelievable as it sounds, it's going to come soon, and they've started with some of the classics like Alice in Wonderland. And I'm not quite sure about the name of the library, but Instagram has partnered with a library in the US, and they're trying to test this out with a couple of classics. Let's say Alice in Wonderland, and they have a couple of them. Now, you can read your favorite novel from your Instagram stories. You can hold on to the story, press and hold on to the story until you finish a page, and then you leave it, or you swipe it when you want to turn the page. Instagram is trying to use something called as recommended posts to give you a boost to your content on your Instagram. Now, when you start, I'm pretty sure all of you would have seen this. When you scroll your posts on Instagram, on your feed on Instagram, it says you're all caught up. You're all caught up with all the updates from all the people that you're following. Now, if you scroll down a little further, it starts either showing you the old posts that you made on your profile, or it just shows you things like recommended for you based upon your previous history. I don't know if there are really so many updates, or is it me talking too much, but the next update is from Google, and Google has launched a series of very interesting updates this week. First update is, do you all remember the phase when Google text ads were the ad format that was very common on Google search? Now, Google text ads became Google expanded text ads. It's time for responsive search ads. Now, responsive search ads are insane because it is a deadly combination of Google's machine learning capability plus your individual creativity. Now, this creates a lot of interesting things on Google search when people search for your keywords. Now, if you observe what is happening, you would be in a position to upload about 15 headlines and 4 descriptions. Not that all of them would show, but Google will decide based upon its machine learning capability coupled with your creativity plus what the user is searching for, they would be able to come up with a very, very extraordinary set of they would be able to come up with an extraordinary set of headlines for your ads. Now, this in a way is nothing but you have the capability to do A/B testing for your ad texts with the help of Google responsive search ads. Now, what's new about responsive search ads this week is responsive search ads is coming up with an ad strength indicator, which means how strong are your ads. And it is going to be based upon certain parameters like the number of ad headlines that you have given, depending upon what your business is all about. Now, that coupled with the quality of the ads, which is the relevance, and what the keywords you have included are. So based upon all these three things, Google is going to calculate your ad strength, and it is an indicator from poor to excellent. Now, this is the range of possibilities that your ads could have. Now, that's very interesting to watch. The next update that I have from Google is with regards to Google Flights. Now, with the holiday season kicking off, now you have Google Flights has made certain enhancements to their to the information that they provide. Now, we could always search for Google Flights. We all know that. But along with that, what is the best time to get the best deal on your flights? Now, Google Flights will tell you that. Now, what they have also made very interesting modifications or changes when it comes to your Google Hotel and deals. Now, you would be able to get a lot of deals and interesting updates on deals about hotels that you could stay at or the places that you could book for your vacation or a holiday. Now, apart from that, they have introduced, now this is something which I really found interesting. I'm very curious to try this out, which is Google has introduced a specific Google Trends exclusively for holiday and travel. Now, that would be very interesting because if you're talking about a lot of travel affiliates and travel programs which are already there, now they're used to a certain system. Now, this is going to give them a chance to explore the other opportunities and get creative with what they've been doing all the while. What else? Now, it is estimated that there are about 2.5 million veterans in the US. A big shout out to all the veterans because, I mean, irrespective of the country, these people's service it has to be appreciated. There's no way about it. Now, there are 2.5 million veteran business owners or majority stakeholders in businesses that are being run in the US alone. Now, Google My Business, which is a local business listing for on Google, has come up with a veteran-led tag, which means if you're a veteran and if you set up a business, now when you're mentioning your Google My Business listing, there is an option where you can say this is led by a veteran. Now, earlier Google had something similar to this, which was called as women-led. All the businesses which were led by women, now they have introduced the veteran-led tag. Now, I don't know how many people would seek out for a business run by veterans. It depends upon the nature of the service and it depends upon what they're actually dealing with. But it would be interesting to see what the outcome of this would be. When you talk about Google Ads, assume that you would have to include a new set of negative keywords, or assume that you would have to make certain changes to your keywords or change the match type of a keyword. Now, all these things would have to be done after you log into your AdWords account, go to campaigns, select your keywords option. That's when you make those changes. Guess what? Now you could do all these things from the overview tab. There's something which always happens with any update that Google launches when it comes to their ad platforms. First, people are unhappy about them. Second, people realize that they don't have a choice. Third, people really fall in love with these updates. Now, that's a cycle I've been noticing for the last 15 years. Now, they have done these changes and they're effective in some of the accounts. Now, you can make any of these changes with regards to your keyword or keyword match types, or some of the set changes that you would want to make to your AdWords account can be done from the overview tab itself. Now, transparency is becoming the core of all the digital marketing platforms today, if you observe. Now, nobody wants to hide and not tell you or not disclose what they're doing and how they're doing. On that note, Google has introduced something called as Search Console History, where you could, Search Console is Webmasters, which was the old name. Now, if you look at these changes, now you can track a history of changes that was made onto Search Console. Now, have you modified any pages? Have you validated anything on your site? Have you created a new sitemap, or you have uploaded a new sitemap? Now, all these history of changes can be tracked with Search Console. There is a good chance that you would be seeing this video either on YouTube or Facebook. Now that brings us to the next update. Most of you by now, in fact all of you by now, would be able to see the Facebook Watch icon on your Facebook app on your phones, which is just a little monitor looking icon, which is Facebook Watch. Now it has been rolled out globally. Now it was only available in the US during the last year. Now they have launched it or rolled it out to all the users globally. Guess what? It's a head-on competition to YouTube. They really want to go head-on with YouTube and see what happens. And in that process, they are after live shows, recorded shows, web series, vlogs, any content which is recurring. Now, anything where there is a chance where somebody is involved in making a video, shows, artists or any collaboration with any of these artists. Now they're into everything. Now they are planning to get this into a complete video platform like YouTube, and it is going to be very interesting to see what happens in these platforms. As of now, if you observe, the amount of videos that get uploaded directly onto Facebook has been increasing at a greater pace. Now, if you observe that, now this is going to be a very interesting fight to watch out and see how Facebook is going to, give a tough competition to YouTube, and what are they going to do different that YouTube is not already doing. Now, that would either we as users are the most benefited people out of this, because we get the best of the experience as far as video is concerned. Facebook is trying to test out a voice platform or a voice program that they want to launch. Call it competition to Amazon Alexa, call it competition to Google Home. They're just trying to get into that zone with something called as Facebook Aloha. And certain sources have confirmed that they are in the testing phase right now, and they could be out when they're launched, and there is nothing wrong in testing is what Facebook says. Now that's a standard statement that Facebook says. There's nothing wrong in testing, but it'll be out soon, and it'll be really good, I believe. So it's called Facebook Aloha, by the way. And Facebook has introduced a lot of interesting tools when you talk about Facebook advertising. They have included certain there were certain standard actions that Facebook had, which they were giving you a conversion pixel for tracking certain standard actions. Now they have extended the range of standard actions. Earlier it was sign up, it was registration, it was a sale or a purchase. Now they've extended to this to many more things. Now apart from that, they have come up with a video ad set of tools, a complete video advertising kit, which has the functionality. Now this is just one of the functionalities. Now it has the functionality to convert a set of still images into a video and customize it according to the Facebook platform. Now what would that do, you may ask, right? Now see, you and I have the functionality to make certain set of videos which may be good, which may be not that great, or which obviously are not gold standard, and we realize at the end of the ad creation process that maybe this video could have been a little better, and I don't know if Facebook likes my video, not like my video. Now that hassle is gone. Now you give a set of images, still images, and Facebook is going to make a video out of it. Now how cool is that? Just like how Instagram stories can include a link to IGTV, Facebook stories is also trying to experiment with certain links to your website or a blog or a video, or it could be anything. Now you have to understand, now I was under the same impression at some point in time that Instagram is owned by Facebook. Now if Instagram stories are being uploaded on my Instagram, now why can't Facebook take the same stories and start showing them? But you have to understand and respect the fact that both of them, though owned by the same body, are two different platforms and represent two different mentalities, attitudes, behaviors of audiences. Now respect the fact that you have to cater to these audiences separately. Now on that note, when you post something in Instagram stories, you would be able to only link it to IGTV because it's that domain. Now if you're talking about Facebook, people behave differently on Facebook, right? Now you might notice that. Now if Facebook has stories, now it should be something relevant that you could link it to. Now so that gives you, that's how Facebook gives you a functionality where you could link certain URLs to your Facebook stories. I've been waiting to share this with you for a long time now. I've been growing restless to share this with you. Now, all of us know that you can boost. There are two kinds of ways where you can spend money on Facebook when it comes to promoting your products. One, you go to your ad manager, create a typical Facebook ad depending upon what your objective is, and you get the ad executed. Now, apart from that, there's another option where you can boost your individual posts on your Facebook page, and then you could send people to your website, or you could make them to go to your site and shop, maybe learn more about it, contact you, fill a form, do anything of that sort. Now, in the way where, while you're trying to boost your organic posts on Facebook, you have the flexibility to include message to WhatsApp as a standard call to action phrase, and it is very, 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 very helpful. When somebody looks at your boosted post, they click on it, and there will be an option, a standard call to action, which says click to message on WhatsApp. Now, when people do that, there will be a screen where it will showcase the interface where they can type a message and it comes to your WhatsApp directly. I believe they have integrated this with WhatsApp web with your Facebook ads, so that the message actually reaches your mobile. Now, how cool is that? The last couple of updates from Facebook. Now, Facebook has started experimenting with subscription based groups, which means you have a group and you have about 1,000 people in the group. Now, you can launch a subscription model where people can subscribe as a membership to your group. Now, this is going to be very interesting because all the groups, now let me be very, very honest with you, all the groups that I am a part of, all the groups that I run where people are part of, are only there because it was free. Now, how is the subscription model going to change? It's going to be very interesting to wait and watch. But nevertheless, it's happening, right? And the next update that I have is, when you talk about Facebook groups, Facebook has launched certain ways to track the behavior of. They've introduced a set of pixels where you can track the behavior of people in your group. Now, if you are the admin of the group, if you run this group, you need to understand how people in your group behave. So, to understand these group dynamics, Facebook has launched a group pixel, which means a pixel for a group, which will give you more insight into how people in your group are behaving, what their activities are, what is their typical behavior, so that you can customize things and get the most out of that done. Okay, the final update that I have about Facebook for you tonight is, if you ever used Messenger promotions, the whole game is going to change, and it's going to disrupt the whole idea of Messenger promotions. Now, Facebook Messenger, when Facebook started, we were very happy to just receive a notification on our comments when people commented, when our friends commented on our posts. Gradually, what happened is we were very conveniently talking to them on Messenger even before we realized. We were already doing it, and we were chatting with people on Messenger. Now, eventually what happened was, Messenger is used as a tool where you can promote your products or services in combination with certain third-party platforms like Chatfuel, ManyChat. Now, you were all of a sudden capable of running chatbots or messenger bots, and anybody, a 15-year-old kid can create a messenger bot and can integrate this with his website. Now, that has got to change now with the new set of rules that Facebook is rolling out. Now, messenger promotions can only be subscription messages now, which means they have to be non-promotional. You cannot push your products and services on these unless otherwise they're talking about three kinds of messages. One could be news. Second could be personal messages, like how I'm not talking about personal messages as such, but I'm talking about finance, in individual finance related aspects could be shared. Not something to get a loan, do this and get a loan or a mortgage, but anything related to your own individual financial information could be sent, right? Let's say we're talking about a bank could send you a monthly statement because it's related to you. Now, that could be another kind of message that you could share. Now, it either has to be news, could be your personal information, like your anything which is particularly applicable to you, and any product updates as such, or anything that is non-promotional can only reach you. Now, how do you get access to the subscription-based messages? you would have to you would have to get in touch with Facebook and apply for the subscription messages, and Facebook would let you do that. Even if they let you do that, it is only applicable for the three kinds of non-promotional messages that I had mentioned before. The final update for this episode is from Amazon, and it is believed, or it is rumored, that Amazon is coming up with a new video platform which is ad-based. Now, something similar to YouTube, where you have an ad platform that could be monetized by showcasing ads, is Amazon has all eyes on this, and it's getting there. Now with all these giants fighting for us, it's really going to be or fighting for our attention is really going to be an interesting activity to sit back and watch. Thank you so much for putting up with me and watching all my content, and I hope this episode number 2 will give you enough updates and enough context. We're slowly rolling out a blog with all the above updates that I've mentioned, which will be detailed. So please don't go anywhere and stay tuned to my updates. Please hit a comment or leave your email ID, and I shall send you the detailed blog posts about all these things that I spoke about tonight. And don't miss my upcoming episode, which is the episode number 3 of Digital Marketing Weekly Digest next week. Until then, signing off.